All right, folks, you might notice a big difference in the studio today. This TV over my shoulder. I swapped out my 13-inch Sony Trinitron CRT TV for a new, old, late 80s 25-inch Sony Trinitron television. I picked this up at an estate sale. It was $40. And I found the original remote. It's missing the original accessory speakers, but that's okay. I've got a set of Bose speakers that work just fine. This thing weighs like 80 pounds. I almost broke my back getting it out of the house and then into my house. But we've got The Apartment playing in the background today to set the vibe. Nice little black and white classic starring Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. Of course, directed by Billy Wilder. Good little movie. Nice black and white on the Sony CRT, while we talk about my record haul from two different estate sales here in Omaha. The tale of two different houses, really. One house, a probably $1.5 to $2 million mansion in a very upscale neighborhood in West Omaha, near West Omaha. And then a blue-collar home in Bellevue, Nebraska, a family that, from what I understand, fell on some hard times, and the house had been unoccupied, not abandoned, but unoccupied for some time. Seemed to be some water damage in the basement, a lot of humidity, mustiness, and moisture, and this is where the records were. So we're going to start off with the records from the very expensive high-end home, and then move to the records from the blue-collar home down in Bellevue, Nebraska. So we got some records here, a couple CDs actually I wanted to share with you, and let's get into it.
Today?
Yeah, right here.
Got some cool ass posters.
I see like a Bears jersey or something in there.
Yeah, Bears jerseys, some good photos.
Nice, dude. Anything left up there?
There's some more posters out there. There's a lot more.
Oh, that stinks.
Really cool house.
Oh man, this house is crazy, dude.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, man. So first up, we've got Little Jazz on the Argo label. We've got Jamal at the Penthouse. We've got a few of Ahmad Jamal's albums, but I didn't have this one. Orchestra arranged and conducted by Joe Kennedy. Now they had another album there of Ahmad Jamal's that I already have, but they wanted $4 per record, and I wasn't quite ready to cough up $4 for a record I already had. This one does not have the original inner sleeve. It's on that black charcoal Argo label. And this is in beautiful condition. I would say near mint minus. No scratches, no scuffs that I can see, a little bit of dust, but that's about it. So need to get some new vinyl sleeves. But Homer's the record shop here in Omaha, one of several, but the main one that I go to has been out of music on vinyl anti-static inner sleeves for a while, and I'm waiting to buy those local. I'll put a link down in the description to it if I can find it somewhere. I don't think Amazon carries music on vinyl, but I can at least link to the music on vinyl website. So this one I haven't listened to yet, but I'm excited to have a little bit more Ahmad Jamal and go from there. Yeah, this is through Chess Producing Corporation on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, which always has, extra meaning to me, having grown up in the Chicago area and lived in Chicago after I graduated college. Now we got some Sinatra in there, some early Sinatra. We've got The Voice, Frank Sinatra, CL743 on Columbia Records. This is one of his earlier records, and I've seen this one out numerous times and picked it up, but it's always been in pretty rough condition, and I've either moved it along or passed on it. This one's on the Columbia 6i, and it's a beauty. VG Plus, very minor scuffs and scratches, but nothing I think that's going to affect playback. Super high gloss. This looks really nice. Of course, missing an inner sleeve, so I need to get a music on vinyl inner sleeve for that. And I think I'm going to keep this one in my collection. I might have a copy upstairs, and I think this one's going to replace it. And then the copy I have, which is probably VG Plus as well, but just on the lower side of VG Plus, maybe even a high VG, that one will get moved along to the record shop, most likely Homer's here in Omaha. And then we've got another Frank Sinatra. This one was pretty cool. The Frank Sinatra Story. I've never seen this one out in the wild, but this is a really glossy gatefold double LP with a ton of text. And so I look forward to listening to this and reading through this, getting to know some of the stories behind this record, and maybe even just the Frank Sinatra story overall. This again is a double LP. It did not have the original inserts, but I had some paper ones left over, so I used those. This is on the Columbia 6i. Beautiful, beautiful copy. Again, VG Plus, super glossy and really, really nice shape. These often are pretty dull, scratched up, and rough when I find them. So it was really nice to find a clean copy. And not just the vinyl, but the jacket itself. I would put this at VG Plus. Got a little bit of, stuff on the edge going on here, but this is in just really, really nice shape. And then we've got a comedy album. There were actually a lot of records that were comedy, older comedy, but then also Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks. And I just grabbed one of them, especially because this was a bigger set. The Incomplete Works of Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks. And Mel Brooks, of course, is going to have Spaceballs 2 coming out. Carl Reiner's no longer with us, but I love his movie The Jerk, starring Steve Martin, one of my all-time favorites. And Carl Reiner is excellent in the Oceans series, directed by Steven Soderbergh. At least I think the first two are directed by Soderbergh. So this is a deluxe 3-record set, and this one's in great shape. I'm not going to go to the trouble of opening it all up, but this is on Warner Brothers. And a really nice copy. The box is intact. It's not crushed or collapsed. And this one will go to the record store as well. I don't know if it's worth a ton. It's probably not, but there's often times where I want to take a record into Homer's just because it's kind of cool or it's interesting, or maybe there's some connection to what's going on in the zeitgeist. Or it's something that in all the flip through videos I've seen of theirs and all the flipping through of records I've done at thrift stores and estate sales and all of that stuff, I haven't really seen it very much. So it's a little bit uncommon, but again, not worth a ton. So it might just have sort of that niche following that could be interesting for the record store to have, just some diversity in their used bins. And then a pretty cool soundtrack here. It's actually show tunes. This stars the original Broadway cast of a play musical I didn't even know existed, but Superman, the new musical comedy. And then on the back here, we've got sort of a spoof on the Daily Planet here. I did not even know, I didn't know this existed. So I'm tempted to listen to it and just get familiar with it. This has the original plastic inner sleeve and it's on the Columbia Masterworks label in gray. And this is near mint condition. Just a beautiful, beautiful copy. Um, I hate these plastic inner sleeves though, because they always bunch up and get all scrunched up when you're trying to put the record back in. So I'm going to try to get this seated a little bit better so it doesn't get all wrinkly. Now, this one's in mono, I can see on the label. And, pretty much anything Superman I'm going to grab. I think Superman has enough of a following, even if this record's only a $6 record or even less. It's a cool one to have. But again, Columbia Masterworks, Superman, the new musical comedy. I'd say this jacket is in VG plus condition, little ding here, some wear on the edges, but pretty darn good for a record of this age. And then we've got another soundtrack. This is the last one, and this is the second to last record from this haul, from this estate sale. But we've got Amadeus, the original soundtrack. This is a gatefold double LP with some stills from the production. I have not seen this movie in a long time, but I remember my dad showed it to me, and I thought it was awesome. I should really see it again. And then we've got this nice little Amadeus logo on here. This is on Fantasy Records out of Berkeley, California. Vinyl, again, is in near mint condition. Both of these have those inner sleeves that have that plastic lining that a lot of classical records have. And this one is definitely very well protected because of that. Really beautiful, clean copy. So excited to have that to take to the record shop. And if it gets denied at the record shop, which I doubt it will, I will most likely keep it and listen to it and see how I feel about it. It's not often that I kind of go, when I see a record as I'm flipping through at estate sales and thrift stores. I have a copy of this record. It's a modern reissue, but I've always wanted to find an original copy. Again, nothing crazy, but it is nice to find some jazz at an estate sale. And right here, we've got West Coast Jazz with Stan Getz. Really nice copy here on Verve. No inner sleeve, unfortunately. We've got the Verve, that charcoal black label, micro groove long playing. And I believe this is in stereo. I'll find out for sure here in a little bit. But Stan Getz, Shelly Manne, Leroy Vinegar, Conti Candoli, and Lou Levy. Again, I have a modern reissue of this, but I don't have the original. I'd put the record at VG plus, the vinyl itself, and then the jacket probably VG minus. Got a seam split down here at the bottom, some splitting up here. This one was in and out of the shelves, I think, a lot and got a little roughed up for that. But that's all the vinyl that I got at this. You'll see in the flip through video. There were other interesting titles there, but I'll be honest, there were some show tunes and stuff like that that may have been worth grabbing. I just didn't feel like looking up the prices. Every time I go to these estate sales, and maybe because there's a lot of people there, the cell phone service is not very good, so it takes a while to access records on Discogs. And I've just gotten a little bit of a sense sometimes, especially when I'm at the end of a couple days of going to estate sales, where I kind of know that the record's probably worth $2 to $4, $2 to $6. And if it's not, and I just don't want to take the time to even type in the search information and look it up. But I was delightfully surprised in going through the CDs. I wasn't expecting anything that was maybe from the kids of the people who live there. But I found a Talking Heads CD, Fear of Music. This one's in okay shape. CD is there and in, probably VG condition, but playable without skips, I'm sure. And then the one I was really excited about was New Order Substance 1987. I do not have this CD, and I'll definitely be keeping this one. This is in pretty good shape, just like a VG Plus CD, if they even grade CDs that way. A little scratchy, but nothing that's going to affect playback. But this one I will be keeping because I have not listened through Substance all the way. I've been hoping to find the vinyl in the wild as I've sort of re-explored New Order. I'm sure there's a few songs in there that I recognize, but I'm excited to continue to get acquainted with New Order. I have a couple of their cassettes and one record, a single, and definitely want to get more. So some good stuff at that estate sale, and just a few that I'm going to keep, the Ahmad Jamal and the Stan Getz. So the next one probably has maybe 15 records in it. And this, again, just a reminder, is the estate sale down in Bellevue, a little bit more blue collar home. I believe the man who lived there was a wounded veteran of the Korean War and possibly even World War II. I saw some hats in there that denoted World War II veteran and a Korean War veteran. So we'll see. But I believe these records were from one of the kids, and they were in a downstairs bedroom. Maybe one of the kids lived with the dad, especially since the dad had a disability, from what I could tell. And these are the records that this person picked up. Now, the jackets are in very rough condition, but the vinyl is actually in pretty good condition. How much were the records? $1 each. Now, as you watch the flip through video, you're going to see it's incredibly dark in there. I had to really boost all of the shadows and all that so that you could actually see what the records are. But a pretty good lot of records. And then there's one little story with the last record that I have in the lot, and I'll tell you that maybe at the end there. It's so dark in here though. So first up, we've got Material Memory Serves. I think this is kind of like an electronic, ambient, jazzy, kind of contemporary, kind of weird thing. I looked up most of the records here just to get a general sense of value to see if any of them were super valuable, but none of them came up as like really, really valuable records. But this one just looked really interesting. I don't see this very often. Jacket is probably just in, G plus condition, but the vinyl's VG plus, near mint minus, a really, really nice copy. And that's on the celluloid label. It's got kind of a silver color, celluloid, manufactured by Elektra and Asylum, Division of Foreign Communications. So that one I might listen to before I move it along because it sounds kind of interesting. And then we've got the Alarm Declaration. Got a lot of crazy 80s hairdos on here. I was hoping for sure this would be kind of like one of those under the radar, slightly metal hard rock bands, but that didn't end up being the case. This record's in pretty good condition. It's still in the original shrink, a little bit of tearing and stuff up here, so I'd probably put it at VG plus. And then we do have an original inner sleeve. And the vinyl, this is on IRS, and the vinyl, no joke, is near mint. I mean, it is just in beautiful condition. I don't think this record's worth a ton. I vaguely recall between $4 and $6. Of course, I'll have the value on the bottom of the screen, but the Alarm Declaration, because this is on IRS, I'll definitely give it a listen before I move it along. And maybe in another vinyl video, I'll talk about some of the records that I wasn't expecting to keep, but ended up doing so after I listened to them. This one was a no-brainer to keep, and I was really happy to see this because I don't have this one yet on vinyl and wasn't expecting to see it at the record stores anytime soon. But we've got Midnight Oil, and this is 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. Got the barcode here, so we're into the 80s, obviously. Do have the original inner sleeve. Little bit of humidity damage and all that stuff on the inner sleeve. This one's on the red and orange Columbia label, but vinyl is VG plus. There's one little scratch I can see on this side that keeps it from being near mint minus. But if it wasn't for that one little scratch, I mean, this would be a high VG plus, near mint minus for sure. So this is no doubt a keeper. I'm pretty sure I have this on cassette. I don't have the CD, but I do have it on cassette, and it's Midnight Oil. This is definitely one of the 80s bands that I'm going to be keeping. So then next up, we've got the Blasters. I thought for sure this was going to be like a punk band or something, but it's not. This is just kind of like in maybe like a rock, kind of getting into that rockabilly vibe from what I remember. Again, didn't listen to this. I know, terrible. I haven't listened to any of these. This is on the Slash Records label in a nice bright blue, 1981. And this vinyl is VG plus as well, like a really, really nice VG plus. Was expecting this to be worth, starting to get in that $15, $25 range, but it wasn't. Not quite there, but this is a nice clean copy, and I will be taking that into Homer's. Then we've got Bobby and the Midnights, where the beat meets the street. More 80s stuff. This is in the shrink, but it got a little abused at the top, got chewed up in storage. Otherwise, this would be in, really, really nice condition. So I'm going to probably just put this at like a G plus. And then we've got the original inner sleeve, and then the vinyl is near mint. It is pristine. No scratches, no scuffs. It's in one of those sleeves that has a really nice soft lining. Not quite the full plastic sleeve, but a really nice paper sleeve that's soft inside. And so this one's going to go to Homer's. Again, it's not worth a ton, but it's not something I'm going to have in my collection. And then we've got Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen. Again, $1 for this. I didn't even bother to look it up. It just looked interesting, so I thought I'd grab it. Jacket's probably in G condition, but the vinyl is, again, another beauty, VG plus, with just the very lightest of scuffs and scratches on here that I don't even think would affect playback. This is on, I don't know what color this is, kind of like a light gray Paramount label. I don't think I cleaned this side of the record, though. Looks like I only cleaned one side, so I'm going to put this in the clean pile. so that I get both sides. And then we've got the Best of Electric Flag, really rough jacket, probably G to fair condition. But the vinyl's beautiful. VG plus, near mint minus, really, really nice copy. And that's the Best of Electric Flag. That's going to go to the record store. This one everybody knows. We've got the Birds, nice little gatefold copy. It is a single LP, not a double LP. Got a little corner cut there. I'd probably put this in G minus condition. And then that vinyl. Absolutely gorgeous vinyl. This is on Asylum Records on the white label in stereo. This is near mint. I mean, it is just in stunningly good condition. So that's nice to see. And then we've got the Butterfield Blues Band, Keep On Moving. Going to keep on moving this to the record store. This is on Elektra. Original inner sleeve is there on that beautiful bright red and white Elektra label in stereo. Nice, super clean copy. Again, near mint minus. Beautiful, beautiful copy with a jacket that's probably more in G condition. Let's go here. And just, your iconic Kinks record, Muswell Hillbillies. I don't really get down with the Kinks too much, although I think I have a couple of their records. This jacket's in G minus condition, but the vinyl, another near minter, just beautiful on the orange RCA Victor label. Super, super nice copy. Whoever picks that up from Homer's for a steal because the jacket's in rough shape is going to be really happy with it. Then out of nowhere, we've got a Stevie Ray Vaughan in the Double Trouble. This jacket's in probably fair condition. A lot of scuffing up here, moisture damage where another record either tore the paper off or stuck to it. Original inner sleeve in really rough shape. But again, folks, near mint minus vinyl. Just absolutely beautiful, high gloss, really, really nice vinyl. Stevie Ray Vaughan. I've got a copy of this, I believe, for sale in my buddy Josh's shop, and I might include this one in that as well, just because Stevie Ray Vaughan's such a well-known artist, and I can price this one a little bit cheaper because the jacket is in such rough shape. And then we've got Mental as Anything, and this is If You Leave Me, Can I Come Too? I think this one's more 80s new wave, if I remember correctly, from looking it up the other day. Jacket is probably in G condition. Nice original inner sleeve and some minty fresh vinyl. I'd probably say near mint minus on this. It's on the gray and beige A&M Records label. Might have to listen to this one first just to double check if it's anything that I'm down with, but I have a feeling it's going to be moving on to the old record shop. Now, the reason I'm not going to put that in my buddy Josh's shop is because it's just not immediate name recognition. I really want records in there that people immediately recognize, the Cars, the Doors, things like that people just immediately know and want in their collection. Billy Joel, Elton John. I know some of those are kind of eye roller common records, but they sell really well in his shop because people are looking for a lot of those. And then we've got Michael Frank's The Art of Tea. Again, jacket G minus condition, no original inner sleeve, and then VG plus vinyl. Really, really nice on that orangish beige Reprise Records label. And then we got some more Michael Frank's, Tiger in the Rain. I think this is a German or French copy, made in Germany, or maybe a French version. But this one's got the original inner sleeve. It's on kind of a different Warner Brothers label than I'm used to. And the vinyl is mint, near mint minus. Michael Frank's, Tiger in the Rain. That one's going to go to the record shop. And then we've got one last Michael Frank's. I've had this one only once before, Sleeping Gypsy. This one I thought, was worth in that kind of $6 to $10 range. No original inner sleeve. It's on the Warner Brothers Los Angeles Street label. Near mint minus vinyl. Really beautiful. We need to get an inner sleeve on that ASAP. But we've got Michael Frank's Sleeping Gypsy. Then I picked up Sunny Ade. And this one is African Beats. The album's called Aura. Nice record. G condition on the vinyl. On the jacket. And then we've got this nice light blue Island label. And we've got VG Plus vinyl as well. This one will go to homers for sure. Get a little cash for that to offset some of the records that we're going to keep. Now, I've never picked a record by this artist, and I know this artist from more of his soundtrack work, like the movie, is it called Crazy Horse with Jeff Bridges? Really good movie. But we got T-Bone Burnett, Through the Night. I was expecting this to be $15, $25 record. It is not worth a whole lot at all. We do have the original inner sleeve, and we've got some VG Plus vinyl. One little scratch here, but in pretty good shape. Again, on that Warner Brothers label. Jacket, G, a little rough, scuffed, dirty, chipped up, but that's T-Bone Burnett. And then I think I've had this one, and I didn't even look up the price. This one might get rejected from the record store, but I got Ian Gom with the Wind. This is on stiff/epic jackets and, G condition, some humidity spotting and all that on there. This is on that stiff epic. Really like the label design on this, but this sucker is near mint minus for sure. Really nice copy of this. And then we've got Billy and the Beaters. This is a promo copy, gold stamp promo. Never heard of Billy and the Beaters. Jacket, I would say, is again in G condition. Missing the inner sleeve, but we've got this photograph insert here. And the vinyl is in near mint minus VG Plus condition. It's on this Alpha label that I've never seen before, Alpha Records Inc. So Billy and the Beaters. And we've got a few more to go here, but we've got Tuck and Patty, Tears of Joy. This one was a little bit more valuable, maybe $8-ish. 1988. We've got the original inner sleeve with the plastic lining. This is on the white Wyndham Hill Jazz label. So some modern contemporary jazz. This one had a little bit more value. And the jacket, I would say, is probably in VG condition. And then here's a name we're all going to recognize, Steely Dan Gaucho. Jacket's in G minus condition. A lot of wear on here. Original inner sleeve is there. A nice heavier duty paper inner sleeve on the MCA Rainbow label. And this is near mint minus. Another beautiful copy as far as the vinyl goes. This one will probably go into my buddy Josh's shop just because Steely Dan is one of those bands, like I said before, that's instantly recognizable and it's having a bit of a moment right now, especially the Aja record. That one moves pretty quickly. And now we're back to Michael Frank's Birchfield Nines. This person really loved their Michael Franks. Jacket's probably in G condition. Vinyl, near mint. Just beautiful on the Warner Brothers label, again with the palm tree lined street. Really nice copy with the original inner sleeve Michael Franks. Okay. Now we're getting to the good stuff. You're definitely going to want to stick around to the end of this this vinyl haul because there are 3 pretty cool records in here. I don't think that they're like crazy valuable. They're not $100 records, but I was really excited to see these 3 records in the stack. Now, the last record has a story behind it because I didn't actually pull it, and I'll tell that story when I get to it. But I just got this record at the Douglas County Historical Society sale for all of $1, and I picked this one for $1 as well. But we have Evening Star by Fripp and Eno. I've been listening to this a ton, and let me tell you, it is just terrific. 1975 on EG Records. This has some humidity damage, so I'd put the jacket at maybe G condition, G minus. Original paper inner sleeve is there. And then we have the White Editions EG label, and this sucker is near mint. I mean, it is just a beautiful copy. And this will replace the copy that I have. That copy of the jacket has some splits. I can glue it back together, fortunately, and I don't think the vinyl's in quite as good a condition, but it still plays beautifully. I listened to this the other day, laid on the floor, zoned out, was transported to another world while I listened to it. I know that sounds a little corny, but this music just really speaks to me. I know a lot of people love Brian Eno and Fripp as well, and these records I'm just getting familiar with, and this one is never going to leave my collection. Just absolutely awesome. If you haven't listened to this, I highly recommend it. Just really beautiful, moving music and ambience. I love it. So that one's definitely a keeper. And then I just like another Brian Eno. I couldn't believe it. Brian Eno, Before and After Science. This one, same label, that Editions EG, marketed by Gem Records. Original inner sleeve is there. And another beautiful copy, near mint. Fantastic copy. Jacket, G condition, creases, a little bit of picking here going on at the top. Not the best condition, but I cannot wait to listen to this. Have not listened to it yet. This one's a little bit later than the other one, 1977 rather than 1975. And this is Brian Eno all on his own. I just like love that I got this at an estate sale for $1. How wonderful is that? Now, this last record, a woman had gone down to the records before I got a chance to see them, but I wasn't terribly concerned because she didn't look like someone that had like a deeper knowledge of records. She's at a lot of the estate sales and she grabs a lot of stuff that has kind of a low price, but then a high sell-through rate because I believe she's a reseller. But she, I think, resells in kind of a like a residential antique shop, basically, sort of a every weekend garage sale kind of thing. Her and her friend do. So she pulled this huge stack of records. A lot of it was like blues rock, jazz rock. There were some Beatles records, but they were just trashed. So she took all those. And then I caught up with her, not because I like chased her down, but I went to a garage sale. She happened to be there. And I asked her if I could look through the stack of records. I went through the whole stack. Some of them I probably would have bought back at the estate sale for $1, but I didn't want to even buy them for $3, $4, $5, whatever she was hoping to charge. But I did see one 80s record. There weren't any other 80s records, but one iconic 80s record or one iconic 80s band. And their records tend to be on the higher value side. But it was Oingo Boingo, Only a Lad. This is my first Oingo Boingo record that I've been able to pick up. And I asked her how much she wanted for it, and she said $10. And I was like, no problem, done. So jacket's in G condition. The original inner sleeve is there. This vinyl, though, someone played it a little bit. We're at VG+, maybe the low end of VG+. Some very minor scuffs and surface scratches that I don't think are really going to affect playback, but you can definitely notice them as compared to the others. These other near mint records, I am struggling to look for a scuff or a scratch. They're that pristine. But Oingo Boingo, cannot wait to add this to my collection and give it a listen. They've got several records that I've been after, and they're either just more expensive, more money than I want to pay, or they're just really hard to find. So Oingo Boingo, super excited. That is the vinyl haul from both of these estate sales. A tale of sort of two places in Omaha, two different socioeconomic classes and the records that they had in their collections. And then someone like me going in and for $1 to $4 per record, picking up some great records that I could flip for a profit, selling my buddy Josh's shop, or keeping my own collection. Now, at the estate sale where the well-to-do folks were, the $1 million+ house, there was a room off the master bedroom that had a bunch of posters, and I'm going to switch to a voiceover and talk you through a couple of those posters, but stick around for that. Nothing earth-shattering, but some cool posters that I thought were really fun. I grabbed them. They were $4 each, and I'll go through that with you before I sign off. So a couple pretty cool posters here. This Elvis Costello with T-Bone Burnett I thought was really nice. These are not in perfect condition, but this one's really great. Some good classic ska. And then Trip Shakespeare, I don't know who Trip Shakespeare is, never heard of it, haven't even looked this up. And then Soul Asylum, iconic. I had this CD when I was a kid and still do. And Bob Marley, this one's a little gnarly. It's got some punches down in the bottom, holes and stuff. And The Clash, totally iconic. Probably one of those college campus posters back from the 90s. And then this one's awesome, New Model Army, just a huge, beautiful poster. I'll take these down to my buddy Josh's shop and sell them individually there, and hopefully they move and do well. So thanks everyone for watching this vinyl haul video and poster haul video. Hope you enjoyed the flip throughs. Definitely feel like you can leave a comment, give me some feedback. If there was a record I should have grabbed that was either really valuable or just really good, please help educate me. I don't just want to grab records that are valuable and I can flip for a profit. I want to grab new music that I haven't listened to before and discover new artists, discover new genres. And I'm sure there are some genres that I'm just not super interested in, even though you might really connect with that music, and that's okay. But you definitely use the comment section to give me some feedback and help enlighten me as I continue to explore new music and collect vinyl records. Thanks everyone for watching this vinyl haul video. Looking forward to the next one, and I'll see you soon.